Any human to another, by County Cullen. The ills I sorrow at, not me alone, like an arrow pierced to the marrow, through the fat and past the bone. Your grief and mine must intertwine like sea and river, be fused and mingle, diverse yet single, forever and forever. Let no man be so proud and confident, to think he is allowed a little tent pitched in a meadow, of sun and shadow, all his little own. Joy may be shy, unique, friendly to a few, sorrow never scorn to speak to any who were false or true. Your every grief, like a blade, shining and unsheathed, must strike me down of bitter aloes wreathed. My sorrows must be laid on your head like a crown.
County Cullen was a variety of things. For example, County Cullen was a poet, anthologist, novelist, translator, children's writer, and playwright. His adopted father was a black activist minister. The fact that his father was an activist put these ideas in his head to write poems about black suffrage. His father was clearly influential in County's writing. He married W.E.B. Du Bois' daughter in 1928 in one of the most extravagant weddings in black New York at the time. This wedding was a big symbol of a new age of African Americans becoming higher in society. This new breed of young, sophisticated African Americans sparked a lot of excitement in this Renaissance era. He achieved literary fame during the time period of Harlem Renaissance. Some will say he was the main spark of that era. County Cullen won many major literary prizes then and other black writers in the 1920s. Throughout his life, he struggled to be called poet instead of a Negro poet. His life during this time was filled with inequality and prejudice. He wrote several different types of writing. He wrote many children's books. County Cullen was extremely influential to other black suffragists. Even after his death, he inspired writers like Langston Hughes and Zora Neale Hurston. Overall, County Cullen was a great Harlem Renaissance writer.
Theme. County Cullen's theme of any human to another is all humans are uniquely individual, but the human society must all care for each other to exist in harmony. We must take all our own interests and others' interests and respect them. We should care for others like ourselves. We should all live in equality. The theme of any human to another is to live in harmony with others in society. This is the theme of any human to another. One way to view. Structure. The structure of this poem shows the theme. There are varying lines and stanzas within any human to another. County Cullen uses this for a reason. This is to show all of the different lines and words coming together to make a beautiful poem. This is metaphorically talking about society. All of the different races and ethnic groups coming together to make a perfect society. The structure is a way to show the theme of this poem. Second way to view. Imagery. There are many different types of imagery within the poem. Any human to another. The quote in the first stanza, pierced to the marrow and past the bone, evokes feelings and images of pain or suffering. This pain is like the pain County had to go through when dealing with racism and racist people of all sorts. Another example of imagery is when Cullen is describing the blade, shining and unsheathed. We are supposed to take this as grief and deep pain, being dangerous and warlike, ready to strike. The blade is going to come down on society if we cannot all come together and coexist happily. There are several different types of imagery in any human to another. Third way to view. Symbolism. The first stanza is discussing an arrow piercing to the bone. The arrow is a lot like the blade when dealing with what they symbolize. The blade and arrow both symbolize sorrow. The arrow or blade symbolizes sorrow attempting to destroy our happy society. Any symbol within any human to another. And the second stanza says your grief, our individual interests coming together in one body. There are many symbols of emotional bonds within this poem.
I can apply any human to another to my life by being concerned about others' problems and wanting to help out any way I can. I would try to make nice with others so society can live in harmony. You can apply the message of coexisting in society with other humans. The main way to apply it is to love others even if they're different from yourself.
My personal application to this poem is that I can apply it to my life by looking at how he's implying that the human race can't isolate themselves and that we are all interconnected. By somehow, some way, you know someone through someone else, and the world is actually really small compared to what you think it is.
I can apply this to my life by knowing we all have a different story and come from different backgrounds. We should not be racist towards one another because we all have different ethnic backgrounds and should respect each other because we're all human beings.